Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Bellator fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting some of the fights for Bellator 255 Pitbull versus Sanchez 2. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight that I'll be predicting. So the first fight that I'll be predicting will be in the heavyweight division, Tyrell Fortune versus Jack May. So this is a late notice replacement fight. Originally supposed to be Matt Mitrione fighting Tyrell Fortune, and in that fight, pretty much the same thing would have happened. Matt Mitrione, terrible takedown defense, doesn't do well against wrestlers, and would have got dominated. Jack May, not the greatest striker, got a little decent size on him, not the greatest grappler, or really great as anything. Just a average or decent, well, average fighter at best. And I think Tyrell Fortune can beat him on the feet or on the ground. That's really just think he touches him up on the feet, gets a feel for him, and then quickly level changes, scoops him up, slams to the ground, grounds and pounds him, and gets him out. Well, I think Jack May's going to probably try to give a little bit of a fight and make it out of that first round, but quickly get put away in that second round. So in this one, I got Tyrell Fortune via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, Usman Nurmagomedov versus Mike Hamel. And how I see this one right here. So Usman, unlike Khabib, well, let's not insult Khabib. Khabib's a great fighter. He is one of the greatest fighters of all time. And you know, he might come off as one-dimensional. Khabib is a full, well-rounded mixed martial artist and worthy of praise for all his skill sets. But we know he's definitely, and he knows that wrestling is the path to victory. But his striking there, he's definitely touched some people up on the feet. So give him his respect and took some good shots from some solid people. So give him his respect. But yeah, by far Usman Nurmagomedov is a more polished, more well-rounded fighter. I'm not gonna say his grappling is better than Khabib's or as good as Khabib's. We gotta still need a lot more to be seen. But as far as full-round skill set, I think he has a bit longer than Khabib. Kind of fights like almost like a karate style at times. Very fast with kicks, good leg kicks, good takedowns, and like really. Little setup behind his kicks are, little telegraph is what I'm trying to say. He sets his kicks up, I'm just saying, little telegraph to his kicks. Now going against Mike Hamel. Mike Hamel's kind of a traditional wrestler, turned striker type fighter. He came to MMA, built on all those muscles and all that explosiveness and put it behind his punches. He likes to crowd you, likes to throw heavy, likes to try to take you down, likes to pretty much cut the cage off and make it small, make the cage as small as possible. So a typical wrestler. And going against Usman Nurmagomedov, I think Nurmagomedov is by far the better grappler between the two, and if he tries to lock up, he'll just toss him around. But where I really see the issue with Hamel is that he kind of leans to one side heavily a lot of times, especially when he's trying to block kicks for whatever reason. He dips his head over it, doesn't guard. So I feel with the kicks of Nurmagomedov, I feel like he's going to batter his lead leg, take away whatever power he does have, throw him off. And when he starts reacting to those leg kicks, I think he'll bring that kick up high and knock him out with a head kick. But I think it will be some wrestling early on. But I think more so than anything, Nurmagomedov likes to fill fights off with his, fill the fight out with his kicks early on. So he's going to be tapping that lead leg a lot with his kick just to get a feel for it. And Matt Hamel, I think early on, probably even after the first kick or on the first kick, he's going to start dipping over trying to, defend the kick or react to the kick. And Nurmagomedov from there are going to see what he needs to do to get the finish. But from that point, it's probably going to be a filling out process. Probably pepper with a jab, move around, tap that leg some more, then slam him to his body a couple times. And just have Hamel reacting and just filling Hamel out there, probably just trying to get some cage time in there and not go for the finish too early or rush a finish. Just let it fight play out. Make sure he gets his time and it's like tap your leg a couple times, maybe feint up top with the head kick just to see, tap him. Then I feel like Hamel going to try to crowd in, panic, and try to wrestle and then probably get countered, thrown on the ground and spend some time on the ground and scramble back to his feet and then continue to get picked apart on the feet. Then in that second round, Nurmagomedov's going to fake low to come up high when Hamel starts to dip to one side and catch him with a head kick, drop him and finish him off with ground to pound early on in that second round. So in this one, I have Usman Nurmagomedov via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the women's flyweight division, Kana Watanabe versus Alejandra Lara. So how I see this one right here. They're both, Lara is the more well-rounded fighter to me. She is. And you can say she fought the better competition. Definitely, because she fought the two of the champions are past and present champions in this weight class. So I would say she fought the better competition overall. In between the two, I would say she's the more well-rounded. I think Kana Watanabe, she is stiff as a board on the feet, but she surprisingly got some power. Even though her striking doesn't look the prettiest or doesn't like have the most snap, she got some heavy hands. Surprisingly, well conditioned, built like a those real that real lean, muscular brick wall type build. Like she not gonna be this bulk Hulk Hogan looking, Brock Lesnar looking beast of a woman, but like she's lean cut and probably as hard as a rock, like real like that real good thin strong muscle. Like she's in real good shape, real strong. And I think that area, also that judo background, she should be able to dominate Lara as far as in the clinching and the grappling, any of the physical exchanges, and definitely technical. Technically, I think she's a better grappler than Lara, and physically, she's a better grappler than Lara. But as far as striking wise, she's stiff as a board but got power. Lara is much more fluid on the feet, but even at times she gets stiff as a board as far as on defense, moving her head. But when she's throwing kicks and throwing punches and stand at range and not allowing people to crowd her, she can be very slick, very fast with the kicks, very creative, and hard to get a read on her. But the thing with Lara is sometimes she does start to spinning back kicks and spinning head kicks, and she spams her flash like a female Pettis at times, or Pettis syndrome. And a lot of fights go to the ground where if she would just set things up better and not spam stuff, she would be able to throw kicks and move and not get caught or not end up on the ground. And sometimes during her own strike, she ends up on the ground. And really looking at a lot of her fights, they end up on the ground. And I think Watanabe is the better grappler. I don't see Lara as this exceptional finisher as far as striking or even grappling, really. I don't see her as an exceptional finisher, or she's not a heavy hitting striker or a heavy kicking striker. So I do worry about Watanabe being stiff as a board and being caught with a lot of shots. I feel like Lara can catch her with a lot of shots, but I don't think she catches with anything with any heavy significance. And I think more than anything, she's gonna start getting into her get too lax out there, or at least to start letting her kicks go too much or let her strikes go too much, and give up her distance, give up her range, or throw a kick and slip up or end up in her back, or throw a kick and Watanabe somewhat times, or they just happen to be throwing at the same time. And I just feel in Lara fight, she ends up on the ground a lot of times. And I feel like once this fight goes to the ground, Watanabe is going to have a clear advantage. I think Lara, she could definitely grapple with her and have her moments, but I feel like Watanabe will be the reverse. Even if Lara does get some advantageous positions with her decorated judo background and her physical strength and her skills and talent in the ground game, I just think no matter where it goes on the ground, I feel like Watanabe will soon get the better control of the fight. I feel like this fight will be one of these fights that will be a lot of scrambles, a lot of positions, but Watanabe being able to counter and control a lot of these positions. And then once you get Lara on the ground, I feel like she can control Lara for large portions of this fight. Maybe get close to submission a couple times, land some good ground and pound. I don't think she stops Lara, but I think she beats her to a pretty clean decision. It's close, but it's gonna be a clean decision. It's gonna be a competitive fight, but I feel like Watanabe's gonna have the control time, and also with that control time, she's gonna land some significant ground and pound, be attempting submissions, and yeah, I think that's gonna be the case of it. Like the control time, the ground and pound, submission attempts, and her work in a close fight is gonna, like I said, pretty much basically the control time and groundwork is gonna edge the fight for Watanabe. So in this one, I got Kana Watanabe via decision. Now to our co-main event. We have in the welterweight division, Neiman Gracie versus Jason Jackson. So right now, this is like a neck and neck fight. This is a pick'em fight as far as odds are right now, and I don't see why. I guess they feel like just because Jason Jackson beat a really not super motivated Ben Henderson, who's underweight and has had, I don't think, no success as far as welterweight division inside Bellator. I only get like maybe 1 or 2 wins, maybe one. I don't know. I feel like that fight could have been at 155. I'm not really going to be backtracking too much on Ben Henderson as far as his welterweight stint in Bellator. All we know is definitely has been lackluster as far as in Bellator. So his Bellator stint at welterweight was lackluster, or has been lackluster. So can't really credit that too much as a big win. It's the biggest win of his career, but for Jason Jackson, but it don't really hold a lot of weight as far as the upper echelon of this welterweight division is. Ben Henderson is a non-factor as far as the upper echelon of this division. And even Gracie has fought Roy McDonald in a competitive fight, who was the champion at one point in the weight class not too long ago. And you can look at Jason Jackson's fight where he should have or could have very easily either stopped Ed Roof. Well, I don't say easily, but it was very close to stopping Ed Roof. And the fight could, for many, should have went to Jason Jackson against Ed Roof, who was a phenomenal wrestler, was taking him down, was able to catch him on the feet. But I feel like Neiman Gracie is a more polished striker than Ed Roof. And we've seen he's a better grappler between the two when we saw that matchup. And Gracie is going to be relentless with the jiu-jitsu. And we've seen Jason Jackson give up a lot of control time in the past to multiple fighters, including Ed Roof. I'm not going to say Gracie's a better wrestler than Ed Roof. He's definitely not. But I feel like with his aggression, and he's no slouch in the wrestling. And we have seen Jason Jackson, like maybe in the last two fights, his grappling a little bit better, but Gracie is clearly the better wrestler. I would say not better wrestler, but clearly the better grappler. But I still might give him an edge in wrestling as well against Jason Jackson. And I feel like in this fight, Gracie can hold his own with Jason Jackson on the feet. And it's not like Jason Jackson been stopping anyone as far as on his last three fights, I think all decisions. So he's not really a big knockout threat. He doesn't got the power. He definitely can hurt you, but he's not like a significant knockout threat or a high rate of knocking you out. I feel like Gracie could stand with him, get a feel for him, get him his respect on the feet, and then start to attack with his grappling. And Gracie, we've seen him be able to go hard for his submissions through 5 rounds multiple times against Ed Roof. We've seen against Rory McDonald. So we've seen it at least 2 times for him able to go 5 rounds hard, just attacking submissions, going for takedowns throughout the fight. And then if this fight, when they lock up, whether it be on the ground, whether he be on top or bottom, I feel like Gracie will have the edge and will just be relentless. Attacking submissions are going for sweeps, going for reversals, trying to latch on his back. And I just see it as a smothering type fight. I feel like Jason Jackson might be having some short, brief moments here and there on the feet, like very brief moments on the feet. But most of the fight, I just see Gracie just ducking under, lashing out to him and trying to drag him down to the ground. But yeah, I just see him basically just really not giving Jason Jackson much room to breathe in this one, latching on to him, clinching, taking his back, and riding, doing the book bag route at portions of this fight, just pepping him up from the back and then trying to drag him to the ground. Then the second round, just finally being able to drag him down to the ground, and they really start attacking submissions, landing ground and pound, getting those transitions, and then in an advantageous position, pepper him up, get him to give up a limb or make a mistake, and then tapping him out in that second round. So in this one, I have Neiman Gracie via second round submission. Now to our main event, we have in the featherweight division a rematch for the title, Patricio Pitbull versus Emmanuel Sanchez 2. So these two fought, I think, 2-3 years ago in the first fight, or that last fight. Well, yeah, first fight. It was a very close fight. I think a lot of people had a 2-2 going to the final round, and Pitbull just put on a championship effort and really, went away with it ran away with it in that fifth round to get a 3-2 or, well, either way, get his hand raised. Close to some, or close enough to some, or super close, razor thin. But he did what he had to do in that fifth round to make it clear that he was the one to win, and he got that victory over Emmanuel Sanchez in their first fight. And I see this fight right here. I think both guys have made improvements, but I think it's one of those fights where it's not like anyone has done anything so significant to make this fight any different than the first. Emmanuel Sanchez, he has been working on a lot of stuff, but he's still very much a fighter that a lot of cardio. He's big. He might not be like I say, he's not the guy that's gonna look like no bodybuilder strong looking fighter or no weightlifting strong type fighter. He's naturally strong, and he got that natural strength. I know he trains and probably lifts weights and do some training, but he's not a guy that's eating protein bars and trying to bench 400, 500 pounds and stuff. Like, he's not that type of dude. It's more probably calisthenics and just drilling and working and some natural and just, basic stuff. It's like, but not like a bodybuilder type build. And he could be strong, be in your face, and push that pace for a lot of time. I mean, for as long as the fight needs to go, he's got heart. He could take damage and keep coming. So he got heart. He's strong. He's in your face. Good grappling. Good striking. But against Pitbull, like, it was like 5'9" versus 5'5", basically a 70-inch reach versus 65.5 reach. So Sanchez is longer, taller, but like I said, big and strong. But against Pitbull, yes, he has all the things, but Pitbull, I think, is a more technical striker still. Actually, the harder hitting striker, the sharper hitting striker, the more accurate striker. Again, that's the more technical. And Pitbull is a Pitbull, just like his name says. He's a Pitbull. He might be tiny and short, but he's got freaking strength as well. So Sanchez, just like in the first fight, it's not a guy like that he can bully. He could be in his face and try to smother him and try to break him down, but it's not a guy he can just go and try to pick up and slam down and manhandle. Because Pitbull is like I said, he's a Pitbull. He's tight, compact, and super strong himself. Short neck, like I said, he got some freak strength, so he can't bully him. He can try to strike him, try to break him down. But Pitbull, like I said, is faster, can beat him to the punch, be shorter on his shots because he already got short arms. Even when he stands fully, his reach on his punches is shorter, because you got the little T-Rex arm. Like, it's not like a whole big window to counter somebody with the arms that short. When they don't his punches still already basically on his chin or in the area to defend, because I don't know. I'm just saying, basically, when you got the arms that short, you're not loaded. It's not that big of a window to counter somebody that with arms that short. All I'm saying, because the arms already really, from attack to defense, it's not that big of a difference because the arm's so short. But like, let me just go off some like what's my bench press, like shorter people with shorter reach, they don't have that much. It's not going that far because they don't got that much arm. Like say bench pressing, somebody else might go twice as much because they got like an 80-inch reach versus somebody got like 60-inch reach. You got to do more work to get a full extension, and there's only so much you can extend versus. But yeah, that was not needed. I was just talking, but either way, we just wanted to see more like the same. I think Pitbull can push it for 5 rounds just like Sanchez, and it's not like Pitbull just been getting these first round finishes. He's been in some fights where he's not too long ago where he had to push 4 or 5 rounds, like so many 5-round wars, and that's a weigh on you. But Sanchez, he's not no pretty fighter either, where he just goes out there and just knocks people out or just has easy fights. So he goes out there and have hard fights. So they both have damage. Pitbull definitely has more, but this one I'm not even gonna factor that. I just think it's more the case of anything that what Sanchez brings to the game, Pitbull has answer. He can't manhandle Pitbull. Pitbull has better jiu-jitsu. He's a cleaner striker. Yes, he has size and pace, but really all Sanchez is going to try doing this one is maybe trying to find some holes in Pitbull game, and again try to just break him, like break him with his pressure, break him with his pace. But I feel like Pitbull will be able to match his pace, be short on his shots, out grapple him, land their heavy shots, and be the more technical striker, and beat him again in another close decision. I see this one going to the wire. But I see Pitbull being able to dig deep in the championship rounds. And I don't think will be as close as the first fight was, but again, a close fight, but probably been a 4-1 type fight where like it might be around where they might say, oh, that one was close, but Pitbull's going to have the definitive rounds, probably at least 2 definitive rounds, if not 3. But I see most judges scoring this like a 49-46 on most judges' scorecards. What I see this one going. I just feel like Pitbull can address every single area that Sanchez tries to bring. Can outstrike and be more technical, and I see him beat him in a decision. So in this one, I have Patricio Pitbull via decision, and that concludes my fight predictions for some of the fights from Bellator 255, Pitbull versus Sanchez 2. And as always, thanks for watching.